Hello students, today I am going to begin chapter 3 of physics. It is machines. So what do you mean by machine? So as we know that what is machine? Machine is a device which makes our work easier. It is a type of instrument which makes our work easier. And how? For example, suppose if you have to break a nut, then you can break that nut by placing the nut in between your palm. It's clear. In between your palm you place the nut and then apply the force. What will happen? It may break or it may not break. It's clear. For example, nut, you don't take nut, you take one amrud. Have you seen the amrud? If you want to break it in two parts, so one way you place in between your palm and then you apply the force. So it may split in two parts or it may not split. Similarly, akroot you have seen. If you want to break that akroot, you place in between your palm and try to break it. Some people break it by the teeth. So, but if we use a nut cracker, if we place the nut here, if we place the thing which we have to cut here, and this is the blade of the nutcracker. This is the blade of the nutcracker. If you apply the force, what will happen? It will be very easily broken into two parts. It will be very easily broken into two parts. Similarly, suppose this is a well and you want to draw a bucket filled with water in upward direction. So there are two ways. One is you pull the bucket directly upward. You pull the bucket directly upward. Here this is the string. The string is fixed to the bucket. This is the bucket filled with water and string is attached. You apply the force in the string in upward direction. It will come out. But here how much force will be required? So suppose if its weight is 10, its mass is 10 kg, along with bucket mass of water, total mass of bucket and water is 10 kg. Then what will be its weight? Weight equals to m into g, that is 10 into approximate value of g is 10, that is 100 Newton. So at least 100 Newton force will be required in upward direction. But if you do the same task by using a pulley, here a pulley is fixed here, and then if it is pulled by using the pulley, what will happen? You will find that it can be very easily taken out. We apply a very small force here. We apply a very small force. Similarly, if you have to cut anything, suppose there is any hardboard like this, you can see here, this hardboard I want to cut. So you take the pair of scissors and then you can cut very easily. It's clear? So machine is a device which makes our work easier by applying a comparatively small force. In all these cases, you will notice that you have to apply a smaller force than when you are trying to do the same work by your muscular power. It's clear? When you are trying to break it by keeping in between the hands, you have to apply more force. But when you are trying to break the nut with the help of the nutcracker, you have to apply less force. Similarly, when you have to take out the bucket in upward direction directly by pulling upward, you have to apply more force. But when you are using the pulley, it becomes very easier. It's clear? Similarly, suppose if you have to open a nut, then we use wrench. With the help of wrench, we can open it very easily. But if you want to do the same work by your hand, you have to apply more force. So what is machine? Machine is a device which makes our work easier by applying a comparatively small force at a convenient point in a convenient direction. But suppose if you have to cut the paper like this, as you know that this paper is not having too much strength. This paper is not having too much strength. than this hardwood. It has more strength, more force will be required to cut it. But here it do not require a very large amount of force to cut. But when you use the scissors, what will happen? That scissor can cut it very speedily. It can cut it very speedily and nicely. It's clear? So machine is also used to provide the gain in speed. It is also used to provide gain in speed. Means what is machine? Machine is a device that you can note also. You listen me and note down. Machine is a device which makes our work easier by applying a comparatively small force at a convenient point in a convenient direction. It also provides the gain in speed. It also provides the gain in speed means that load will be overcome in a very small interval of time. It's clear? Now see here, there are four main functions of the machine. Four main functions of the machine. What is machine? Machine is a device which makes our work easier by applying a comparatively small force at a convenient point in a convenient direction. It also provides the gain in speed. Now there are four functions of the machine. It acts as force multiplier. Force multiplier. It's clear. As you have seen in this example, when you are drying this bucket filled with water in upward direction, I am told that its weight is how much? Its weight is 100 Newton. It's clear. Its weight is 100 Newton. Means how much force will be required here? At least 100 Newton. Whether you are pulling it directly or you are pulling it by using a pulley. Whether you are pulling it directly or you are pulling it by using a pulley. In both cases, how much force will be required here? 100 Newton. Here 100 Newton. It's clear? But you can see here you are applying 100 Newton or more than 100 Newton force. But here you apply a very small force, only of 10 Newton. What is its effect in this side? Its effect is 100 Newton or more. Its effect is 100 Newton or more. You are actually, when you are pulling it with the help of the pulley, you are applying the force here at this end. That force is very small. That force is only 10 Newton. But this pulley makes the effect of the force more than 100 Newton here. And therefore, what happens? Bucket comes out. But suppose if it happens, you are applying 10 Newton and the pulley is creating its effect less than 100 Newton, bucket will not come up. Bucket will not come up. मतलब हमने 10 न्यूटन यहाँ लगाया और उसका इफेक्ट यहाँ पर 100 न्यूटन से लेस हो. Means 100 न्यूटन क्या है? It is the weight of the bucket when it is filled with water. Weight of the bucket when it is filled with water. So if it is effect is less than 100 Newton, bucket will not come up. It's clear? So here it has increased, pulley has increased the effect of the force. Similarly, this is a nut. Suppose its strength is 500 Newton. Its strength is 500 Newton means 500 Newton force is required to break it. So whether you are breaking it by placing that nut in between your palm and applying the force or by using nut cracker, in both cases how much force will be required? 500 Newton force will be required. But when you are breaking it by using the nut cracker, what happens? Here you apply a very small force. You apply only 20 Newton. But here its effect becomes more than 500 Newton. It creates more than 500 Newton effect here and therefore it is broken. So machine acts as force multiplier. Means it increases the effect of the effort applied. It increases the effect of the effort applied. Then second usage, it changes the point of application of effort from one point to the other point. Changes point of application of effort. Changes point of application of effort. from one point to other point. Now see here, I am showing the wheels which are used are that there are teeth wheels which are used in the bicycle. Here they are connected by I am not showing the teeth here. They are connected by a metallic chain. It's clear. This wheel is connected to which we can see wheel. This smaller size wheel is connected to the rear wheel. Rear wheel मतलब जो साइकिल का पीछे वाला पहिया है. While this bigger size wheel, it is connected near to the front wheel. मतलब जो साइकिल का आगे वाला पहिया है उसके पास में होती है. Here there will be one pedal. It's clear. You apply the force on the pedal. But what happens? It makes the rotation in this. Means the point of application of effort had transferred from here to here. So this is the second use. It changes the point of application of effort from one point to another point. For example, if you see the crowbar, you can see here crowbar. It is an iron rod. It's clear. Here you place something, some rigid object, and this you have to displace from one point to another. So you will apply the force here. What will be? Its effect will be observed here. So here point of application of effort has transferred from here to here. So what is the second use? It changes the point of application of effort from one point to another. Then it changes the direction of effort applied. You can see here in case of the pulley, when you draw the bucket from the well. What happens? You can see here. Here you apply the force in this direction, but its effect is upward. Means you are applying the force in downward direction. Its effect is observed in upward direction. Means it changes the direction of effort applied. Changes direction of effort. Change direction of effort. Effort is acting in downward direction, but its effect is observed here in upward direction. And number 4, it provides gain in speed. What is the meaning of gain in speed? Means load moved by longer distance than the effort. So you can see here this is the pair of scissors. If you see, this is the pair of scissors. Here these are the handles and these are the blades. The paper which you want to cut, that you will place here. The paper which you want to cut, that will be placed here. Force will be applied here. Effort is applied here. So see here, effort is moving how much distance? It is moving from here to here. This. It is moving from here to here. This. But how much length of paper will be cut? So this much part of the paper will be cut. This much length of paper will be cut. It's clear that length will be cut. So here load moves by longer distance than the effort. Load is moving longer distance than the effort. So it acts as a force multiplier. So this is about the machine. Now there are some terms related to the machine that I am going to tell. What are terms related to the machine? And in the description box I will upload some notes of this chapter, so that you can download from there. It's clear? Some notes will be uploaded, not today, but after 2 days you will see that there will be the notes. It's clear? Now some terms related to the machine. One term is load. what is load? Load, it is the resistive forces which is to be overcome for completing the work. Resistive forces which is to be overcome for completing the work, that is called load. For example, here, this example I am taking again and again. You are trying to take out the bucket filled with water from the well. It's clear. So what is the load here? Here load is the mass of bucket. That is load. Then mass of water, that is also load. Then thus mass of this rope also, mass of rope. Then friction in between rope and wheel, friction in between, though it is smooth, but there will be some friction also. Friction in between rope and wheel, and friction at bearings of wheel. You can see here, there will be these four loads, these four resistive forces which you have to overcome. Mass of bucket, mass of water, mass of rope, friction in between rope and wheel, and friction at bearings of the wheel. It is clear? Here the essential load is what which is produced due to the mass of water. This is the necessary load. This is the necessary load. This is the useful load which is produced due to the mass of water. Necessary load which is produced due to the mass of water, that is the essential load, that is the useful load. Rest are useless, they can be minimized. And how you can minimize? Instead of having a iron bucket, you take a plastic bucket. What will happen? Both will take out the same amount of water, but plastic bucket is lighter. Therefore, lesser force will be required to overcome the weight of plastic bucket. Lesser force will be required to overcome the weight of plastic bucket. If there is proper lubrication at the wheel bearings, then what will be? Friction will be reduced. Friction will be reduced. What will happen? Then you have to apply lesser force. You have to apply lesser force. Similarly, if you are using lighter rope, in that case also you have to apply lesser force. So all these loads are undesirable loads which can be minimized, but one which is produced due to the weight of the water, that is the useful load. So what is load? Load is, its symbol is capital L. Its symbol is capital L. And there are two types of load. One is useful load and other is useless load. Useful load is what? It is the load which is necessarily to be overcome for completing the work. Which is, for example, here it is the load which arises due to the mass of the water, due to the weight of the water. That is the useful load. Useless load which arises due to the undesirable loads. Undesirable loads, friction, weight of the movable parts of machinery. These are causing the useless load. For example, here in the case of nutcracker, what is the useful load? Useful load is its strength. Its strength is useful load. But there will be some friction, some force will be required in order to move these parts. In order to move this part, some force will be required. So what will happen? Useless load can be minimized. It's clear? By minimizing useless load, but we are getting the same amount of useful load. So here useful load is denoted by small l, useless load is small x. So capital L equals to small l plus x. This is the total load. Load means it is the resistive forces which is to be overcome by the machine. There are two types of resistive forces. One is the useful load, which is necessarily to be overcome for completing the work, and other is the useless load, which arises due to the friction in between the movable parts and weight of the movable parts. It's clear, which can be minimized up to a certain extent. Then there is one more term, effort. What is effort? It is denoted by the symbol capital E. It is the force required to overcome the resistive forces. Effort means it is the denoted by capital E. It is the force required to overcome the resistive forces, that is called the effort. It is clear. What is the unit of load? It is Newton. Unit of effort, it is Newton. Why it is Newton? Because load is weight. It is some resistive force. Here effort, it is also a force required to overcome the resistive forces. Then there is one term, ideal mechanical advantage. Ideal mechanical advantage. If you see here, ideal mechanical advantage, in short we write it as IMA. What is ideal mechanical advantage? It is ratio of the total load lifted to the effort applied. Total load lifted means it is the sum of this and this. Sum of useful load plus useless load. That is known as the total load lifted. So total load lifted to the effort applied, that is known as IMA. What is the unit of IMA? So if you see here, load Newton, effort is also Newton. Newton upon Newton means no unit. It's clear. Then there is a term, actual mechanical advantage. Actual mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage in short we write further MA. MA is the mechanical advantage. So actual mechanical advantage. So actual mechanical advantage is defined as the ratio of actual load lifted to the effort applied. What is actual load lifted? Small l. What is the actual work done? It is the weight of the water. It is the strength of the nut. So actual load lifted to the effort applied. So AME equals to actual load lifted, effort applied is same. This. It also have no unit. And why no unit? Because Newton upon Newton means Newton. Now one more thing. If you see in case of the nutcracker, if you see, if it is not stated, then it means AMA means mechanical advantage means AMA. Mechanical advantage means AMA. So if you see the nutcracker, in the nutcracker which will be more? Load will be more or effort will be more? So you have seen in the nutcracker, load is of 500 Newton, but in order to break that nut, you apply a very small effort, 10 Newton. It's clear? Load is more, effort is less. So if load is more and effort is less, then what will be mechanical advantage? You can see mechanical advantage is simply load upon effort. Mechanical advantage is load upon effort. So if load is more than effort, then it means what will be the mechanical advantage? You can see mechanical advantage will be greater than 1. And if mechanical advantage is greater than 1, then that machine acts as force multiplier. That machine acts as force multiplier. It acts as force multiplier. As you have seen in case of the pulley, when you draw the bucket filled with water from the well, that is a force multiplier machine. As you have seen in case of the nutcracker, that is also a force multiplier machine. Why? Because the load which is to be overcome is very large. But in order to overcome that load, we apply a smaller effort. Pulley makes its effect equal to this or more than this. Nutcracker makes its effect equal to this or more than the load, and therefore nut is broken. So force multiplier machine means which increases the effect of the effort applied, which increases the effect of the effort applied. It's clear? जैसे कि नट क्रैकर ने क्या किया है, 10 न्यूटन के एफर्ट का इफेक्ट किसके बराबर कर दिया, 500 न्यूटन के बराबर कर दिया. In case of that when you were drying the bucket, you were applying 10 Newton, but its effect pulley has made more than 100 Newton. But if the load is less and effort is more, load is less and effort is more, it's clear. Then what will happen? Mechanical advantage, load upon effort, load is smaller, effort is more, so mechanical advantage will be less than 1. For example, here, what is the load here? Load is the strength of the paper. Its strength is not very large, it is very easy to tear it. It's clear? But so here load is very less, but the effort which you are applying on the scissors to cut it, that is more. It's clear? So in that case, mechanical advantage will become less than 1. And when it will become less than 1, see here what is the purpose of using to cut the use the scissor to cut this paper. What is the purpose behind cutting this paper with the help of the scissor? Because the scissor provides the gain in speed. It provides the gain in speed. It's clear? So here it will be cut very quickly. So that type of machine in which the mechanical advantage is less than 1 acts as speed multiplier. It acts as speed multiplier. Then if the load equals to effort, then mechanical advantage will be equal to 1. And what is the purpose of using a machine which is neither force multiplier, neither speed multiplier? Which is neither force multiplier, because force multiplying machine, mechanical advantage should be greater than 1. For speed multiplying machine, mechanical advantage should be less than 1. So if it is equal to 1, then it is neither force multiplier nor speed multiplier. Then what is the purpose behind that? So this type of machine is used to change the direction of effort applied. This type of machine whose mechanical advantage is equal to 1 is used to change the direction of effort applied. It's clear? That is the purpose of using such machine. Now see here, there is one more term. You can see here, velocity ratio. What is velocity ratio? So here I am drawing one machine. This is a simple machine. Here suppose this is a fulcrum F. Effort is applied at this end, and when effort is applied at this end, what happens to the load? What happens to the load? Load raises. Load raises means now what will happen? It will here effort is moving by this distance. Effort is moving by this distance. And load is moving by how much distance? Load is moving by how much distance in the same time? In the same time, load moves by this much distance. It had moved by this much distance. मतलब क्या है, जितने टाइम में एफर्ट यहां से यहां आया, लोड हैज मूव फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर. These two distances need not to be equal. These two distances, it is not necessary that dE will be equal to dl. So what is the velocity of effort? Velocity of effort equals to, suppose effort moves from here to here in the time t. So load will move from here to here in time t. Now what is the velocity of effort? It is the distance moved upon time taken, dE upon t. What is the velocity of load? dl upon t. So what is velocity ratio? Velocity ratio equals to ratio of velocity of effort to the velocity of load. What is velocity ratio? It is the ratio of velocity of effort to the velocity of load. This is velocity ratio. Now you can see here, we can write it in one more form. If you substitute the value of this velocity ratio, VE upon VL, velocity of effort upon velocity of load. What is velocity of effort? dE upon T divided by dL upon T. When you will simplify, T into T upon dL, that is equals to dE upon dL. dE upon dL. So what is velocity ratio? It is defined as ratio of velocity of effort. It is defined as ratio of velocity of effort to the velocity of load. It is also defined as distance moved by effort in a certain time interval to the distance moved by load in same time interval. It is also defined as distance moved by effort in a certain time interval to the distance moved by load in same time interval. It is clear. So there are two definitions of velocity ratio. Velocity ratio defined as the ratio of velocity of effort to the velocity of load. It is also defined as ratio of distance moved by effort in a certain time interval to the distance moved by load in same time interval. What is the unit of velocity ratio? So it has no unit. Now you see here, you have seen in the pair of scissors, which one is moving more distance? Effort is moving more distance or load? So already I have shown that the load is moving more distance. Load is moving more distance in the pair of scissors and effort is moving less distance. It's clear? So what will be velocity ratio of pair of scissors? Pair of scissors, what will be the velocity ratio? Here dE is less and dL is more. dE is 10 centimeter, dL is 50 centimeter. What is 10 upon 50? 1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 means less than 1. So velocity ratio will be less than 1. If the velocity ratio is less than 1, then that machine acts as we know that scissor acts as force multiplier or speed multiplier. So we know pair of scissor act as speed multiplier. Its velocity ratio is less than 1. So if velocity ratio is less than 1, then that machine will be speed multiplier. This way, that will be speed multiplier. Now see here in the force multiplier, what will be? Velocity ratio will be greater than 1. If velocity ratio is greater than 1, then that machine acts as force multiplier. And if velocity ratio equals to 1, then it neither acts as this nor acts as this. It is used for changing the direction of effort. It is used to change for inverting the direction of effort. So all of you remember this thing. Mechanical advantage greater than 1, velocity ratio greater than 1, force multiplier. Mechanical advantage less than 1, velocity ratio less than 1, speed multiplier. And mechanical advantage, velocity ratio both equal to 1, neither acts as force multiplier nor as speed multiplier. It is used to change the direction of effort applied. Now after this, there is one more definition. This is the work input. Work input. Today's lecture will be little longer, but I will try to complete in 1 hour because I want to complete till before the lever. That up to, not before the lever, up to the derivation of mechanical advantage. Here its load is this. Here it moves by what distance? dl. It is gs. Now work input. What is work input? As we know that in order to obtain some work from a machine, either we have to supply some energy or we have to do some work. किसी मशीन से वर्क ऑब्टेन करने के लिए या तो हमको उस मशीन को कुछ एनर्जी सप्लाई करनी पड़ती है या वर्क करना पड़ता है. जैसे कि दिस फैन वी सप्लाई द एनर्जी, washing machine we supply the electrical energy. On the expense of electrical energy it performs the mechanical work. It's clear. Have you seen the chara cutter in the village? That we rotate by our mechanical effort. It's clear. There is a big size wheel which is having the blades, so that is rotated by the human labor. It's clear. So on that we are doing the work. It's clear. So on doing the work, what will happen? The blades will cut the grass. Similarly, nutcracker, what happens? We do the work. We don't connect it with the electricity. We do the work by our mechanical, human, muscular power. We do the work on the nutcracker by the muscular power, and then that nutcracker breaks to the nut. So what is the work input? It is the work done on the machine or energy supplied to the machine. Work done on the machine or energy supplied to the machine for completing the work. For example, here force E has been applied up to what distance? dE. So what will be the work input? E into dE. It will be equal to E into dE. Force E has been applied up to the distance dE. Then work output. Work output means it is the work done by the machine or energy derived from the machine. Work done by the machine or energy derived from the machine. That is called the work output. For example, here this machine is lifting load L. Load means weight. Weight means mg. It is lifting load L up to what distance? dl. So as we know that what is the work done? Work done will be, force required will be L into dl. It will be equal to L into dl. mg into, in place of h there is dl. What is the unit of work input and work output? So as you know that unit of work input and work output is joule. Then there is a term efficiency. Efficiency of the machine. What is efficiency? Efficiency, it is denoted by symbol eta. It is a Greek letter eta. What is efficiency? It is the ratio of work output to the work input. Ratio of work output to work input. That is known as efficiency. Efficiency defined as the ratio of work output to the work input. Now you can see here. What is the work output here? Work output, now one more thing I want to tell you, that if the machine is ideal. Machine is ideal means in which there is no factor which is causing the loss of energy. There is no useless load. There is no useless load. It's clear? There is no undesirable load. Then what will happen? There will be no energy will be spent in overcoming to the useless load. It's clear? Energy supplied will be totally used in doing the useful work, and in that case work output will be equal to the work input, and when work output is equal to the work input, efficiency will be equal to 1. But this is only in the ideal machine which do not cause any loss of energy. For example, this fan, here 100 joule electrical energy is supplied, but the fan is performing only 60 joule mechanical work. Rest 40 joule is wasted in heating of the wires due to its resistance. It's clear? So always some part of energy supplied is wasted. Some part of work done on the machine is wasted. And why? Because of the weight of the parts of machine, because of the friction in between the movable parts. Some energy is wasted. So ideal machine is merely a conception all machines, ideal machine in which these losses are not present, there are no dissipative forces, in which the whole of the energy supplied is used up in doing the work, useful work. That is, work output is equal to work input. So ideal machine are having efficiency equal to 1. And what will be the characteristics of ideal machine? So you see here, its parts should be weightless. Its movable parts should be weightless, so that no energy is spent in moving the movable parts. Number 2, there should be no friction in between the movable parts, so that no energy is wasted in overcoming the friction. Is clear? And number 3, if there is any rope, then that rope should be elastic. That rope should be elastic. Perfectly elastic. Is clear? So as we know that perfectly elastic string is not possible. So what are the main requirements for the ideal machine? Main properties of the ideal machine: its parts should be weightless, its parts should be frictionless. Parts means movable parts. Parts means movable parts. Movable parts should be weightless. Movable parts should be frictionless. There should be no friction. So these are the requirements for a machine to be ideal. So as we know that in every machine, work output will be lesser than work input. So if you write these values, efficiency equals to, now I am rubbing this, you can see efficiency means, in the practical case, what will be efficiency? Efficiency will be less than 1. It will be less than 100%, because the work output is less, work input is more. It is only 60 joule, it is 100. 60 upon 100 means 0.6. 0.6 means 60%. How will you change the fraction into percent? By multiplying with the 100. It's clear? By multiplying with the 100. So here efficiency, work output, L into DL. It is E into DE. Now you rearrange the terms. So when you will rearrange the terms, it will be L upon E divided by dE upon dL. This way we have rearranged. What is load upon effort? It is the mechanical advantage. Load upon effort equals to mechanical advantage. dE upon dL, it is velocity ratio. So this is the formula of efficiency. Efficiency equals to mechanical advantage upon velocity ratio. Now for an ideal machine, I have told that what is the value of eta? What is the value of efficiency? 1. Efficiency equals to 1. Therefore, mechanical advantage upon velocity ratio. But in ideal machine, there is ideal mechanical advantage. So in place of MA, I have written ideal mechanical advantage. So when you will simplify this thing, what will you get? In case of the ideal machine, mechanical advantage is equal to the velocity ratio. Mechanical advantage is equal to the velocity ratio. But in the practical machine, efficiency is less than 1. Efficiency is less than 1, so mechanical advantage upon velocity ratio is less than 1. Means mechanical advantage is less than velocity ratio. Mechanical advantage is less than velocity ratio. So this is the case of the practical machine. It is clear? So this I have finished up to here. It's clear? Now you can read 49, 48, 49 and page 50. In the next video, so about the practical machine, about the ideal machine. Practical machine means actual machine. Here actual machine is given. There is one more thing that I have forgotten to tell you. Principle of machine. What is principle of machine? A machine can do as much work as the energy supplied to it. That is, the work output will be equal to the work input. This thing I explained but not stated. Principle of machine. Work output equals to work input. It will be always written in the same way. According to the principle of machine, a machine can do as much work as the energy supplied to it. That is, work output equals to work input. Whether the machine is ideal or practical all the time if the principle of machine is asked, you will write this only, that a machine can do as much work as the energy supplied to it. It's clear? So this is the principle of machine. So these things I have explained. Now you read page 48, 49, 50 and 51. In the next video I will start from the lever. It's clear? So not now, because lever I will do in the next video. Yes. Till then, thanks.